Today on Heavy Metal Frequency, I'm reviewing the Devin Townsend Project's Deconstruction, and this is my second time getting a copy of this album, and it's a basically progressive death metal album. This has kind of like a Stockholm Death feel to it, almost like a subverted form of like mid-period Opeth to me, not just because I've been listening to a ton of Opeth lately, but it just does. There's also like an avant-garde metal aspect to it, so like really complex non-linear music that's non-linear in a way, like freeform jazz and avant-garde jazz and things like swing and stuff like that. So jazz-centric without movements like classical. And then the progressive metal aspect has some... Progressive metal usually has movements of things kind of like that, and so on this album, Devin utilizes a lot of guest vocalists in a very unique manner on some of the tracks, like on Praise the Lord, track 1, the vocalist from November's Doom, a melodic doom death band, IMO, kind of along the lines of Swallow the Sun and In Mourning, does some vocals on it, but it's predominantly Devin is the main vocalist because of his huge range. And then on Stand, you have second track, another like progressive death metal song. You have Michael Ockerfeld from Opeth doing some vocals, more of an undertone type thing, so it adds some more subtle like Stockholm death metal richness, let's say, to the song. The concept is, you can look it up, I'm trying to keep going, and it's really cool. It reminds me a lot of Danny Elfman and Tim Burton, Danny Elfman more so because of the compositions remind me of Danny Elfman's dissonant yet whimsical nature, also Devin Townsend's dissonant yet whimsical nature. It works on multiple levels. And so Jular has Ison on it from Emperor and Ison, and it's like a Danny Elfman black metal song. It's really, really cool. Planet of the Apes is a very interesting and brilliant kind of nod to Meshuggah, and I feel like this kind of stops the flow of the album a little bit, but yeah, it stops the flow of the album, and it does like a Meshuggah type song with Tommy from Between the Buried and Me, and it's really cool. And if you listen to the lyrics, it's amazing. So some of Devin's lyrics on this it's hilarious. There's a lot of comedy. There's some comedy rock on here, some satire. It's really, really cool. Sumeria has the vocalist from Cynic and Gojira on it, so it has like a tech death feel to it. A little bit of other things like Joe's vocals lend themselves well to things like punk and groove metal and stuff like that, post metal and death metal all cohesively. It's really cool. The song title, that's the longest song on the track's like 16 minutes, and I'd rather not say a song title on here. You can look it up. It's the track in between Sumeria and Pandemic. I'll wait. Yeah, I don't want to get this flagged for anything, and I think it's just funny. So it's like a 16.5-minute song, and it features the vocalist from another progressive metalcore band, progressive core band, Dillinger Escape Plan. And it's very impressive. It has some circus music to it. It's really, really cool. Pandemic is kind of like a symphonic metal song to me. And so there's all kinds of stuff on here. Deconstruction has a guest solo from Frederick Thorndahl, which is Devin's crazy about Meshuggah. It's really cool because Devin's really into Meshuggah. He loves Meshuggah, and Frederick did a guest spot on this. The one thing with this album is I really, really wish that Jens Kidman from Meshuggah was a vocalist on this. That would have just been perfect. But whatever, there's still some involvement from Meshuggah. The drumming's amazing. Drummer from Soilwork and Megadeth's on this, Dirk, and Devin's drummer's also on this. So this is a fantastically impressive album, and this took a while because I had to buy a second copy of it. I do not know what happened to my first copy. It's just something weird that happened. So please get a copy of this. This took a while for me to procure, and so it's worth the wait. My physical media forever, but that's my opinion, and thank you, and have a good night.